Excuse me, back door please. Hello. Thank you.
Hey folks, Jerome Forestwood here. It's 2:06 p.m. on September 10th, 2025 in Westside Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. It is 20 degrees outside on a sunny afternoon in the city. In this video, I traveled for 2.2 kilometers, starting in Kitsilano by the bus stop at West Broadway in Arbutus, then stroll south on Arbutus, east on West 16th, south on Maple, east on West 19th, south on Pine, east on Hosmer, ending my trek in First Shaughnessy in Angus Park. To support the channel, click the heart icon to send me a super thanks. For updates, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at jforcewood. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, share it, and subscribe. Hey folks, Jerome Forestwood here. So we're at West Broadway and Arbutus Street right now. I'll head south on Arbutus and over to where we're gonna go today. I'll give you a little bit more information as after we cross the street. Okay, so we've crossed Arbutus Street and we are south of West Broadway. Continue walking along the street here. On Arbutus. And today we're heading on over to the Shaughnessy neighborhood. We'll start on over at First Shaughnessy and give you a little tour of First Shaughnessy, which is one of the local areas for the First Shaughnessy Conservation Heritage Plan, or Heritage Conservation Plan, where the city has worked with the people on over there to designate the area and north of King Edward Ave up to 16th Ave, okay, and from Oak Street in the east to Arbutus and East Boulevard in the west, to protect a whole bunch of old mansions on over there that were built before the 1940s. Okay, now we're just walking through the Kitsilano stretch of Arbutus Street here. Kitsilano going up to 16th Avenue. That's where it transitions to Arbutus Ridge neighborhood and the Shaughnessy neighborhood right here along Arbutus Street. So this is 11th right here, and we'll cross 11th. You can see all the different shops on over here in Kitsilano. You won't see these shops when you enter into Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy is very bare bones in regards to shops and restaurants. There's almost virtually no businesses in Shaughnessy. It is primarily just a residential area. And most people live in large mansions. And very few people in the area actually rent. So this is the intersection of 12th in Arbutus Street here. Gonna wait to cross the street here. 12th Ave is one of the major thoroughways that cars use to get across the city. It relieves a little bit of pressure on the active bus routes along West Broadway and 16th Ave. And there we go, looking across the street. So we are making our way there right now for you. It's good to have you here on the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do hit that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. If you want to give a thank you for the recording, you can hit that heart sign with $1. Send me a super thanks. Those are some ways you can support the channel, but most importantly, hit that like button. Really, really does help out the channel a whole lot. It's 13th, so we got 3 more short blocks to go before we get on over to the border between Kitsilano, Arbutus Ridge, and Shaughnessy. So this is still technically Kitsilano that we're in. Or here's the Dunbar Lumber Shop for you. One of the few lumber shops in this area. It's very quaint. One of the community gardens in the area. It's the Arbutus and 15th Community Garden. You can see it's very busy right now. It's got tomatoes over here, kale, lettuce, all sorts of stuff growing out here. Looks like there's a few people with some really good green thumbs here. That's exciting to see. Now we are here. We are near the border. Ooh, this could not be good. Look at this. Just outside of Shaughnessy right here. They're gonna build townhomes right across from the market on over here. This is the city market. And this is the local food depot here in the neighborhood. We often call grocery stores. You can see there is apartment buildings above it. And this is the edge of Kitsilano. So let's head on over here and see what borders we got to cross. It's right here, at this intersection of 16th and Arbutus Street. This is where everything changes. So if we cross the street here, as we're doing right now, we're leaving Kitsilano, and we are now in Arbutus Ridge. Again, this is the intersection of West 16th and Arbutus. And now that we cross here, we are leaving Arbutus Ridge, and we are now entering into the Shaughnessy neighborhood. Technically not quite yet. The Arbutus Ridge is still, the trail is still within Arbutus Ridge. We have to cross the East Boulevard here. Small little section of East Boulevard up here, disconnected from the rest. Here we are. And welcome, folks. We're in Shaughnessy. So welcome to Shaughnessy. We're on its northern border, right on over here. And we'll dip in just a sec and check out a bit more of the neighborhood. But before we do that, we got a development application right here. This is pretty interesting. What's going on over here? Looks like they're gonna increase the floor space on over here and build a new building. Okay. 3 parking spaces on it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Big old lot in there. Let's now head into the neighborhood. And welcome to the neighborhood of First Shaughnessy. We're currently on Maple Street here. And in this area of Shaughnessy, this is where you have the First Shaughnessy Architectural Conservation Plan, or Heritage Conservation Plan. First Shaughnessy being from 16th Ave there in the north to King Edward Ave in the south, as well as over to Arbutus Street or East Boulevard to the west and to the East Oak Street. So welcome to First Shaughnessy. It's where you're supposed to have a whole bunch of the old luxury homes and mansions. So let's take a look around and let's see what we get. So whenever you see these larger homes, they always have these huge hedgerows like this. They often serve as both noise barriers and more. There's one of the giant mansions right on over here. They don't look as big as people say, but a mansion in Vancouver holds a much more significant distinction than a mansion in another province like Ontario. There are some quite big ones here though. Wow, okay. And this neighborhood is under a bit of transition. It is changing. It's not staying the same. So over here there's another proposed building, but it's primarily up here in First Shaughnessy, still gonna are going to remain a single family home and dwelling neighborhood here. These are some of the homes that used to be popular in this neighborhood. But ever since, larger and larger mansions have been built, as you can see right on over here. We'll head this way. And across the street, you see construction signs all over the place. There's some of the different homes here. It's a rather large home right here. Look at that. It's got an all the way around veranda. Wow. Very big homes. Very, very big homes. Okay, so let's head further in. The homes on over here are valued around $6 million on average, but they can go anywhere up to like the 20 millions and even more than that. Here's some of the big homes on over here. For Vancouverites, these big homes aren't really much of a big deal, except for the fact that especially when you have a whole bunch of smaller families or even single widowers living in these homes these days in this neighborhood. It's a very fast aging neighborhood. We do find that some of these homes are a waste of space, some people would say, and occupying prime land that more people could live on. That's one of the arguments. Okay. A lot of landscapers here to occupy in this area. And the houses really, really are the focal point. Big giant homes. I have seen bigger in Ontario. Mind you, over here in Vancouver, these homes go for a premium. Yeah. Across the street here is apparently the Happy Gilmore home. I'm not sure if it's this one on over here or if it's this one right here. Very interesting. This one's got the cameras on it though, so I'm thinking a few people have walked past that in their lifetime. I'll head on over to the front of that building just in case it is and give you a look. Looks like they have their own massive driveway. We'll find out. Oh wow. There's all these different twists and turns in this neighborhood as well. And this is the one with the security features on it. Very cool. We're not going to go more than this. So one of those two homes that I showed you is apparently from the Happy Gilmore movie series. I'm not really much for that, but some people like it, so for you movie nuts, I'm happy to give you a little bit of a fear fill. Okay, let's see where we need to go now. Okay, so we should just keep going this way, and then we'll come to Pine Crescent. So we're currently on West 19th Ave over here. So when people have to want to build new here, there are rules that they have to follow. They can definitely build new, but there are heritage rules that they have to follow. Not mainly interrupting architectural innovation, but really just wanting to maintain this area as an area with a lot of mansions and a lot of single family homes, rather than turning it into an area where you can have apartments. When I was even searching on Gemini was talking about, and it said, while there are some apartment rentals in the area that usually go anywhere from $2,500 to $2,600 for a one bedroom rental. Okay, I'm gonna cross the street. Keep us safe. This area really is more involved in the rental of homes, which can go anywhere from $4,000 a month to $6,000 a month. Look at that home right there. It's like you're keeping the character of the building, but they're bringing in some modern elements into it. Now, this area's demographics are primarily aging. Well, there's about 20% that is youth here in the area, and another 20% is people aged 35 to 64. The majority of the people in this area now these days are above that age. And in fact, in the newspapers just last year, and in news stories, there was articles saying a lot of people who lived in the Shaughnessy area didn't see a lot of trick-or-treaters. Some didn't see any. And that just demonstrates the lack of children that live in this area. People have these big homes and they raise their families, oftentimes big. After their children grow up and move away, well, what's left? Not much. Okay? Maybe a small mom and dad just living in their home by themselves. And that's why when the neighborhood gets a little bit older, it gets a little bit harder to have trick-or-treaters going around. Lack of kids in the area. That's not a bad thing. That's just how some neighborhoods evolve over time, especially when they're exclusive neighborhoods, and just like this right here. Popular selling point here is the streets that are lined with trees. It's like old birch trees on over here. absolutely gorgeous. But you can see, like, do they really take care of their streets? Look at all the dead leaves that are here. It's like no one's come by and picked up last year's layer of dead leaves. Sometimes people are more interested in maintaining their property than maintaining the outside of it. Okay. Apparently we need to cross the street and head on up. You see signs like this all over the neighborhood here. Pressure washing, house cleaning, gut cleansing, all that stuff. So we're gonna go along this street right here. And this is Honsmer Ave, and we're heading on over to Angus Park. A bit of a smaller home over here. Might be part of a bigger property. It often is. And you can hear how quiet it is here in the neighborhood. Again, most of these homes, if they do have a full family, they'll have around 4 to 6 people living in the home. And during the daytime, most people are out and about doing their thing, whether they're in school or something else, or at their executive office. So you'll often find this neighborhood very quiet for those specific reasons. This is Angus Park up here. What the heck is going on over here? There's like tents here and a food truck. Okay, this is interesting. Across the street. I am intrigued. I am intrigued. Let's get nosy. And it just looks like a tent with a bunch of tables right now. This is just in time funding. This might be for a movie. Anyways, none of my business. So I'll stay out of it, but very cool. They'll oftentimes have movies here in the area. We'll grab a seat at a bench and chill out. Again, we just walked past the house used in the movie for Happy Gilmore, so there's definitely some things here in the city, here in this neighborhood. So anyways, welcome to Angus Park, and thanks for coming along on this section of the video. So just remember to share, like, and subscribe. We just walked from Kitsilano neighborhood over in East Kitsilano along Arbutus Street and came on into the Shaughnessy neighborhood and headed on over here to Angus Park. So thanks for coming along today. Just remember to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later, okay? Have a good day. Bye.